I played this game back in like 2003. It was free on a PC Gamer CD or something. It probably is earlier than 2003, being honest about it. And it was called Real Lives, right? And all it was a game, not even really a game. It just randomly generates a person, and you just click like advance a year. You make decisions about like what you study at school. Do you get married? Do you leave home? Do you have kids? Do you take this job? Do you take that job? But essentially, all you're doing, it's just a human life simulator. And I remember it being fucking hilarious. Basically the average playthrough on Real Lives was you were born in India or China, and you died as a child due to like some horrific illness, like parasites or something. That was it. And you would just, you would get like five out of every 10 goes would be that. And it was like just trying to make the point, that like life's hard. it'd be tough out on these streets, So anyway, point I'm telling you about that is they've modernized, and it's a web-based browser game that you pay for. Go there, you can have a look. I'll put it in the chat. But you have to pay for a life. And yeah, you buy lives in blocks of like 100, right? So last night I was like, fuck it, I'll test it out and see if it's stream appropriate. There's loads of tech issues with it, 'cause it's a browser-based game, and our interfaces with stuff like OBS and stuff is kind of like fucked. But anyway, so I was born in Cyprus, right? Born into a low-income family in Cyprus. Was chilling out in Cyprus, having a good time. I went to school, but I thought, fuck it, I'll try and become a footballer, right? So you get to choose leisure pursuits when you're like 6. So I'm like, yeah, I'll play sports. And then you get to add leisure pursuits on. And I'm like, yeah, I'll work out and that. And, I'll become a footballer. It'll be fine. But anyway, my dad was doing okay. He was like ahead of a school. And we had like okay money. We were climbing up. We were economically upwardly mobile. It was good. But then, for some reason, I was a moron. Like, I was just an actual moron. I got held back 2 years in school. And there's no explanation for that. I was like attending school. I was going to school. But I was just a moron. I was just born a moron. And it was like, I was watching my intelligence. You've got a stat for intelligence. And it was just like 30%, 28%. 11%, right? And so I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. I want to be a footballer anyway. Who cares? Like, fuck it. So it's only school, And anyway, I got to being an adult, which was a problem because I did this one thing as well. When I was like 16, it said, your friends try recreational drugs. Would you like to try it with them? And I thought, yeah, you know what? I'm a moron. I need a bit of spice in my life. So I did the drugs and instantly hooked on drugs. Forever, by the way. I was still hooked on them, age 25. And I was just, every time I took a part-time job, it would just say, it would just say to me, like, you have lost your job as a laborer due to your drug addiction. I go, okay, I'll apply for another job, no problem. Garbage man, right? Got that job. You've lost, a year would pass. You've lost it due to your drug addiction. I'll do another. Okay, no problem. Get another job. Factory worker, right? Odd jobber was a thing I was doing. Lost all my jobs. Then I got drafted into the military because it's Cyprus. Didn't see that was a curveball. Didn't think about that. I had to do a year or two in the military, but that was fine. Somehow didn't get clean in the military. And then I came out, and I'm like, right, I'm like 20, 21 years old now. I'm going to get a real job. I'll become a footballer, right? And that was the option. It was there, like professional soccer player or whatever, And I clicked on it, and keep in mind, my physical attributes were all good. I've been doing it all my life. I had a bunch of failed relationships with girls because of it, because if you get in a relationship with a girl and you don't change your leisure pursuit to, like, socializing, they dump you. So I had a string of terrible relationships. Every turn it would say, this girl likes you. Do you want to get in a relationship? I'd go, okay. And then it would go, sadly, they don't feel the same way about you. And it's like, but they said they like me. So I'm an incel football player at this point. I click on it, and it says you are not suitable for the job of professional soccer player as you are lacking intelligence. Now think about how dumb you have to be to not even be a fucking football player. So, anyway, I've moved out of my parents' house. I'm a drug addict living in Cyprus in a slum, working. I think I'm back in the factories, and my intelligence is continuing to go down. So I don't know if this story has a happy ending. It also did this weird thing where it's like, I don't know, maybe I don't need to know about this, but it did this thing where it come up and it just said, your mother has stopped menstruating. This is the menopause. Sound. Thanks, game. Things I like to think about. That was just mental. I don't even know why that's in the game, but it's a thing. So it could be funny. It could be funny to play it. You know. So I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go and hope it doesn't dox me because it interfaces with Google Maps, which makes me very afraid. Maybe I can be safe. So we'll see. We'll see.